everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on today. But before we get started, you know what I'm going to say, and you know what I'm going to ask you to do. Go right down here, go in your settings, find your subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, that algorithm, that beast. I really would appreciate it. And right about here, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of our reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful for that support. Also, we have a super thanks button somewhere over there if you want to make a one-time donation. Any donation that is made is always greatly appreciated. All right, with all that said, let's get to the read. When I was putting the read together, of course, you know how I do it. I was in these internet streets. I was really in these internet streets most of the day. I was on my computer looking at all different places, and I have so much to share. I was over at Instagram, of course. I went over there, and the squatties over there are pretty much still talking about Harry and his surfing adventures. They're talking about Charles and Camilla in Australia and the lackluster reception that they have received so far, and we love it. And what else are they talking about? They're talking a little bit about William and Kate and something William said, which I don't believe none of it, but we'll probably talk a little bit about that too. I also was over on X, formerly known as Twitter. Y'all know I love X. I was over there, and they're pretty much talking about the same thing. They're talking about Charles being in Australia and some of the things that are going on there, and it's just pretty lackluster so far. And they are reminiscing a lot about when Charles and Diana went, and they're reminiscing a lot about when Harry and Meghan went, and the crowds that was there. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that also. But guess what? Guess what? I was also over to the dark side. I went over to the dark side, and I'm going to tell you why. I saw this article over on the Daily Fail by A.N. Wilson, and it was talking about how Charles should quit Australia before Australia quits him. And we're going to talk about that article because that's going to be one of the articles I highlighted. But when I saw that article, I knew it was going to be a whole lot of crying and wailing and whinging and rolling on the floor over on the dark side. So, of course, I could not miss that. You know how messy and petty I am and how much I love the dark side salty tears. They are delicious. So I just absolutely scurried my way right on over to the dark side, and there it was. The crying, the whinging, the holding of their stomachs. I mean, we all know how much they hate to be rejected. And that's what Australia has done. They feel rejected because their society of the monarchy is something that they feel is so precious to them that the world looks to them for it. And now that the world is seeing it for the rolling clown show that it is, they are absolutely they all in their fields about it. And I tell you, it is so delicious, especially on GB News. Oh, they are crying so hard. They are crying so hard. And in this article, A.N. Wilson, he is crying so hard. And what they can't figure out is why people on the outside looking in this monstrosity of a clown show that they call Monarchy. They can't understand why we don't see it as the pinnacle of society like they do. They don't understand it. That somebody whose biggest achievement is slipping through the birth canal and becoming this person that you're supposed to bow and scrape to, and that you want to do anything so you can be adjacent to them, or they might, recognize you and give you a trinket that costs maybe $5 made of some kind of brass or something. And I don't even, it probably is not even made of brass. It's probably made of pewter or something really, really cheap metal like that. And they will do anything to say they got a MBE or EHG or JKLQRM or whatever they talking about. Because we see it every day. Every time David Beckham show up over there, we see the groveling and the boot licking and the brown nosing just to get a medal and some kind of recognition from these people who have no other qualification except they slipped out of the birth canal. And now that Australia is pretty much done with them, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch over to GB News. That's the only time I love going over to the dark side, when I know they're crying. And I love it. I love it. So, yes, I went over to the dark side and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. All right. Let's get started with the read. But yes, that is the roundup of what's going on in these internet streets. And so I have a lot to share. Of course, I have a lot to share because I've been on the internet all day. I've been in these streets all day. And of course, I got a lot to share. And we're going to start with this picture right here. This is a picture of Charles and his horse getting off the plane. And why I put this picture up is because I want to drag Camilla. And I never am going to miss an opportunity to drag Camilla. And the reason I'm dragging Camilla is that umbrella you see her holding. You know, the squatties on X have just really been reminiscing about how Charles and Diana, who has gone to different places and showed how they deplaned and how they got off the plane and how graceful Diana was. And Charles has been pretty much the way Charles is. He always have gone in front of, he went in front of Diana. So this is nothing new, him going in front of Camilla. But it's just the fact that how graceful Diana was and how Camilla came out there trundling, as Byron said. I don't know where Byron said, somebody said, I think it was Jenny Bond or somebody said that Camilla was trundling into the, when they were going to crown her. And so, and that's pretty much the way she does. She trundles. And I'm thinking maybe she even had a possibly had a drink or two on the plane, because we all know she loved to bend her elbow. They tried to tell us, and I did a feature in one of my podcasts about her son trying to gaslight us, saying that his mother doesn't drink. Yeah, okay. So here she is getting off the plane with this umbrella. With this umbrella. Let's go. All right, this is the second one. She is trying to navigate herself. Charles spends most of his time trying to look back and see what she's doing, because she is the most inept human being it is. We all know how frustrated he gets with her trying to put her coat on, trying to navigate this or that or the other thing. And I'm sure he is a little perturbed with her, because she is trying to hold on to a pocketbook, trying to hold on to the rail, and also trying to hold on to this unnecessary umbrella. Because as you see, nobody else has an umbrella. because at this point it's not raining. And how do I know that? Because there's no rain on the umbrella. But this inept human being still has the umbrella over her head like it is. Let's go to the next picture. There is Charles with his umbrella in his hand because he knows it's not necessary. Will only use it if it starts to rain. And as you will see, as he greets the dignitaries, he hands it off to one of his people. But here comes Camilla trundling down the stairs with this unnecessary umbrella, trying to navigate everything. All right, let's go on. Here she is right here. Charles has passed his umbrella off, but not Camilla. Camilla continues to hold on to this umbrella, and it is not raining. This woman, and this is the Queen of the United Kingdom. Charles, he did not do the United Kingdom any favors when he made this woman the queen. He should have stuck with the original plan and made her, I think it was princess consort she was supposed to be. The lie that they told us that she was going to be a princess consort. That is really, she's not even graceful enough to even be a princess consort, to be honest. Look at this woman. Ugh, with that dark lipstick on. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's lipstick or, her lips are burning from the, well, her son says she don't drink gin. She don't drink that white liquor. She drink that dark liquor. That's what we said down here in the South. We said dark liquor. So evidently, but he cannot blow smoke up our skirts. We know she drank, but she still has this umbrella in her hand. All right, look at this. They have given her flowers, and she's still holding on to an umbrella that she doesn't need, have not handed it off, not one time. And she is greeting these dignitaries, hitting them in the head with it. How do I know she hitting them in the head with it? Let's go to the next picture. She hitting Charles in the head with it. And the other person that's over on the other side, she just hitting everybody with this umbrella with no need, and she do not need it because it's no rain. The umbrella is dry. And look at Charles. He's got that little fake smile on his face. He is just absolutely baring his teeth, trying to keep going. I bet you when he got in the car, he said, Camilla, why did you not put that umbrella down, Camilla? I know he did. I know he did. I know he did. And here she is right here, hitting this girl and hitting this girl in the face with the umbrella. And Charles is look like he is just a puzzle bite as he can be, never letting go of the umbrella. And here she is headed to the car with the umbrella in her hand, never letting go of the umbrella. It's not raining, and never having enough grace or sense of presence to pass the umbrella back to an attendant. Charles did it. Why didn't she? Because she is Camilla. She is the horse that she is. And I'm just saying. All right, then. We're going to put this up right here. And this, somebody posted this with Diana's face. And I just said this yesterday on my podcast yesterday, how I felt that Diana was bringing the weather. Because we all know Diana just almost just washed them away on that coronation day, which it was just, woo, it was so good. And then here they are. It did stop raining. I think they sit in that plane until it did stop raining. I don't think, all of a sudden when they got ready to get off the plane, it stopped raining. I think it absolutely they waited until it stopped raining. I watched over there on the dark side this son, Matt Wilkerson, and he was talking about how they were trying to it was really, really bad weather, them coming in on that plane. Diana was giving them hell on their way in. And they were saying that they thought they might not be able to land and all kinds of stuff. It was horrible, horrible weather. Diana was cut up, let me tell you. And it finally broke enough for them to land. And then he said that, that they sit on the plane and waited until the weather did stop and they were able to deplane. Ooh, it was so good. And then after it stopped raining, here she come with an umbrella that's not needed. All I can say is Elizabeth II would have never. I'm gonna put that picture up of Elizabeth II and Charles's horse. Look at this. It is a true queen. And Charles decided to do this to the United Kingdom. She is the most inept human being. And look at this picture of Diana. What a queen she would have been. Charles, he gets what he deserves. That's all I'm saying. Also, it goes on over there to X. David keeps on posting picture after picture after picture of Diana in Australia in protest. And so I'm going to bring y'all a few more of them beautiful pictures. Here's one right here with Diana with her black and white on, looking every bit the queen to be, so graceful. Mm. It's enough to shake your head to see what you actually got to what you could have had. It really does. It's sad. It's sad. And look at this. Look at Diana. Beautiful. And she didn't trundle. I'm just saying. And look at this smile of Diana. He just posted so many pictures. I think they're on the plane. Diana tried to make the best of it. She really did. And he treated her so horribly about something that wasn't her fault, about her popularity. Same as they did Meghan and Harry. Being able to be popular, being able to be liked, someone seeing something special in you is not something that you can control. It is just who you are. It's the essence of the person. And they just don't have it. And they absolutely, completely hate anybody who does. And that's the way it is. And look at Diana and all these people that showed up. Ah, just good times. Good times. The United Kingdom could really have had a queen. They would have went from one queen, Elizabeth II, to Queen Diana, and it would have been extraordinary. But Charles is the problem. He has always been the problem. And he's getting everything he deserved. That's all I'm saying. And this squatty put this up. And like I said, everybody's reminiscing about Diana when she went to Australia. And she posted these excerpts from the Dimbleby book. You know the Dimbleby book, the one that Charles got on there and just complained and moaned and whinged. That's what they said that Harry did. But basically, he did what Harry did. He got on there and told the truth about his true feelings. And some of his true feelings was that he was jealous of Diana. Let's read what this squatty said. It said, in his words, woe is me biography, their endless moaning about Diana's natural warmth, ability to connect with everyone, and how much the Australians adored her. being the weak man that he is. And where is the lie in that? You have to be a weak man to be jealous of your wife or significant other. I'm just saying. And it says, poor Charlie was left feeling rejected and overshadowed and taking it out on Diana. We saw it in the Crown. I watched that part. I think the last two seasons I didn't watch because it was about Diana, and I knew that they weren't gonna do her right. They was not gonna do right by her, so I didn't watch it. I was not gonna give them any of my uh, click time, any of my streaming hours watching that nonsense. So, but I digress. We all saw it, how he is such a weak and petty and little teeny tiny man that he could not understand that the people of Australia was actually giving him a compliment, that he would choose such an extraordinary wife, because he chose Diana. He chose her. And so he could take pride in the fact that he did choose this extraordinary woman, but he couldn't take pride in that. All he could do is to moan and whinge and show how very weak he was and be jealous of his wife. I'm going to read what he said in the Dumbleby book. Let me make it larger because I cannot see that well. It says, the prince shared none of their excitement. In Australia, the princess had once again pulled vast crowds and charmed the media with the beauty of her smile and her radiant aura. So infatuated was the throngs at every walkabout that they got out of the car to work the crowd, and involuntarily moans of disappointment would rise from the part of the crowd which turned out to be the nearest to the prince. When they saw him, they wanted to see Diana. And see, he didn't understand that he took that personally. They already had saw him. He had been there several times. This was his new wife. She was something new. They was, and that is the reason why they wanted to see her. And if he had just embraced her, supported her, loved her, then all that would have been a part of them as a couple, because they would have saw him as this person who, well, this man who supports his extraordinary wife. But he couldn't do that. He was too weak, just a weak person. And it says, at every walkabout that they got out of the car to work the crowd, an involuntary moan of disappointment would rise from the part of the crowd which turned out to be nearest to the prince and farthest from the princess. Even as they drove through the streets, the prince could hear the cries of disappointment. Oh no, she's on the wrong side. It's slapped his what it said, it slapped his confidence, it sapped his confidence and momentarily at least made him long to escape. Can you imagine being that oof, so insecure? So insecure as a human being. And you're going to be a sovereign of a nation. And here you are so insecure, living on the whims of what people are thinking about you. So sad. So sad. What a sad human being. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see what it said here. It said 30 years on, as he smiled his way through the clicking cameras and the faceless crowd, he could not resist a swarm of anguish as he fronted the something remarks and insults that are made to me. Rude things shouted, gestures made, plastic masks waved about, wounding unnecessary things written in the paper about me, and etc. I think basically what he's saying is, I think this after him and Diana, wasn't getting along or whatnot. And so people pretty much had started to take Diana's side, but we all know that he called in on the wolves on Diana. He called in the wolves, and before she died, they eventually devoured her. They did. Because they were just on her heels. She couldn't go anywhere. And they put a price on her head. And eventually it paid off for them. And that's my opinion. And I'm just saying that's my belief. But yes, this weak man. All right, I'm going to put this up too. Because the squatties over on X are reminiscing about Harry and Meghan's trip to Australia. And pretty much, Diana's seed is the only seed that has ever had any kind of success in Australia, but it's also been the undoing. Australia was the undoing for Diana because she was so graceful, so successful, so loved, so admired, and so just people just loved her, so loved. And these insecure vipers saw that and they said that she had to be destroyed. And that's what they went about doing. And that's the same thing for Harry and Meghan. Harry saw it coming. Harry said, "You're doing too well, honey." He knew it because it was the undoing of his mom and it was the undoing of him and his wife. When they went over there and they did so well, and I'm telling you, it was extraordinary. Like I said, I watched it from start to finish, and the crowds were massive. Everybody, it was just love, love, love all over, love. And they saw that and they said that they had to be destroyed. And that's what they went about doing, but it didn't happen this time. There was too many people standing in the gap and saying, no, it's not going to go down that way. Although they keep on going with it. But as long as they keep going, we'll keep going. I always said that. When they stop, we stop. Simple as that. I'm going to put this up. It said, I noticed that all the reference pictures to Harry and Meghan's oceanic tour published today showed them only. All the crowds were cut out from the pictures because King Charles and his horse, seemed like somebody been watching Royal Sussex. It said, because King Charles and his horse are not doing so well. I am not having it. Here is what the real power and successful royal tour looks like. And there it is. We saw it. And it was something to see. We even reminisced about it. And y'all know that scene of them standing on the balcony? It was movie magic. Let me tell you, it was movie magic. And when they saw that, they went about to destroy Harry and Meghan. But like I said, it was just too many people standing in the gap. We're not going to allow that to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to end up destroying yourself. Because look at what's happening now. They cannot go on royal tours. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants them. And I just love that for them. Because you'll try to destroy somebody and you'll end up destroying yourself. And that's what has happened to Charles, his horse, and William and Kate. And it is so wonderful to see. And like I said, over to the dark side, all that crying. Ooh, it's delicious. It's delicious. Okay, we're going to put this up. It said King Charles and Camilla used the British media to incite violence against Prince Harry and Meghan Markle daily. Prince William raged on the Sussexes relentlessly. Now the world sees Charles and Willie as divisive, hateful figures who shouldn't be allowed to reign. And that's what's going on. That's why they're having such a hard time. And it is only just beginning. The Commonwealth feels some kind of way. They do. When they saw how they treated Harry, the much loved prince who could go anywhere within the Commonwealth and be welcomed like he was a brother or a son that was returning. And then he married this woman of color who is, we all know the Commonwealth is 80% people of color. And when he married her, and then they saw how this family behaved and treated them, they're going to have a hard time. It's only beginning. And I still say this, he going to Samoa. Charles is going to Samoa for the Commonwealth meeting. And I believe that's one reason why Charles caught cancer. Because we all know that he was outed as one of the royal races. And he has to go to the Commonwealth with all these black people, well, all these people of color. And he has been outed as a royal racist. He had to absolutely do something. And I still, like I said, I'm not 100%, but I am in the 90s that he absolutely is faking. He is absolutely faking. I really believe that because I have never heard anybody who loved life and wants to live and they saying that they halting, they gonna stop cancer treatment just to go on a trip. I don't know. I don't know. And y'all remember too, I'm gonna say this. Y'all remember too when they talked about this Commonwealth meeting and they were talking about William maybe going in Charles' place. And Charles absolutely said no, no, no. He knew way back then, and I think it was like a month or two after he announced that he had cancer, that he never said William was going to take his place. He always said he was going to go. How did he know he was going to be well enough to go? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's really something to think about, isn't it? Let's go on. And this popped up. This shows how desperate and how much propaganda that the British media pushes out there and who they support completely. I'm going to put this up. It says, Aussies, your British King Charles and Queen Camilla needs you to come and douse your cap, bend and bow to them. You have been especially invited. Desperate times indeed. On the other note, if you ever doubted that the British press are the propaganda arm of the British monarchy, doubt no more. And you know why she said that? Because Chris Ship tweeted this out to try to get somebody to make sure that they have some kind of crowd. They really worried that people are not going to care. So he tweeted out. I don't know how many followers he has on X. I don't know. But I wonder who he talking to. I'm just saying. But it says any followers in Australia may wish to know the public has been invited to meet King Charles and Queen Camilla after their Sydney church service on Sunday. And that's probably happening right about now because, I think they're like 9 hours ahead of where I live. So, yeah, it's probably happening. If not now, it's soon. And it says it's been added to the program on top of Tuesday's public events at Sydney's Opera House, St. Thomas Anglican Church. So, begging for people to come out. The press is begging for people to come out. And I tell you what, they all down there too. Them flying monkeys got on. They got all they little group together, and they flew down there together. You name it, they down there. Even Arthur Edwards got himself down there. Somehow he got down there. I saw him. He was on that Sun program, and he looks horrible. Woo, he looks horrible. And I think he well into his 80s. What is he doing? I don't know. I think he older than Charles and Camilla, but he down there. And Matt Wilkerson had him. They was on a boat, and he looked like he was trying to hold on for dear life because he had some. It was funny to watch, I'm telling you, because he looked like he didn't have his sea legs about him, because he looked like he was about to fall over trying to talk about Harry and Meghan, talk about they feel that Harry and Meghan, the way things went down with them, maybe made people feel some kind of way. You think it makes people feel a little some kind of way? I think so too. But yeah, that's what they were talking about over there. I watched all these panels. It was nothing but crying, crying, crying. But all the flying monkeys is down there. If y'all hear my dog barking, pay him no mind. He will stop. But yeah, all those flying monkeys are down there. They are. It is something to see too. All right, this is the article. I'm gonna put it up. This is the article about A.M. Wilson, and he is just crying and feeling some kind of way. These people have felt like that their monarchy and being adjacent to their monarchy is some kind of pinnacle of the world. They don't understand that the British Empire is not the center of the world anymore, and people see it for what it is. It was a vicious and evil entity, and it also is ridiculous. It is a clown show. That whole coronation mess was a clown show. It does not fit into today's world. All of that, when you got people who can't pay for heating, you got people who can't pay for their food, you have baby banks where people go there to get diapers, and here's a man sitting up there in all of this regalia with all these stolen jewels of millions and millions and possibly billions of dollars. And the people who are doing all this suffering pays for this family $500 million a year for them to stay in the lap of luxury. And so they can come around and give you a little smile and a wave. A little smile and a wave here and there, as William put it. And they think the world should really, really, really adhere to their belief that this is something that's supposed to continue and not something to be mocked and laughed at. And it is more and more people are mocking it and laughing at it. And it's also too what's making it crumble is the people behind it. They are so flawed and pathetic and mediocre. Ugh, it is a mess. And I just love it for them. I do. I just love the crying. Let's get into this article. It says A.N. Wilson, why Charles should call the bluff of these Drangos. I think it's called the Rongos. The Rongos. They said that is a not so nice term that people use in Australia to say somebody is an idiot or stupid. Durango. I think that's the way you spell it. You say it, and it says, let me start it over. It says, why Charles should call the bluff of these Durangos and ungracious Aussies and announce he quits as their head of state by the late Queen's biographer. So Charles is just supposed to tell these ungrateful Aussies that he quit. And that'll fix it. My goodness, not for Charles not to be head of state anymore. I know that's going to be a mortal wound for Australia, a place who wants to get rid of him anyway. These people, like I said, the level of self importance, their feeling of self importance is so off the charts that they honestly think that this country would feel some kind of way because Charles said he quit. And in actuality, they probably would be very, very glad that they don't have to go through the whole trouble of a referendum to get rid of his tail. I'm just saying. All right, let's read a little bit of it. It says, on Monday afternoon, amidst the hubbub of dignitaries and clinking of wine glasses in the Australian martyr's boomerang shaped Parliament building, King Charles, I got to make this bigger. I cannot see. I got to get this. I'm going to get some context. I got to will be gravitational center of the country's political power. But at a reception to honor his arrival as the head of state, 6 regional leaders will be capriciously would be capricious by their absence. For Australia's state governors have all declined their invitations, citing other commitments ranging from ranging from election campaigns to cabinet meetings. No doubt they have greater priorities. Chief among them is not appearing to be a royalist toady. When I saw that word toady, I'm telling you, I love it. Because y'all know I be calling them toadies. It said invoking his country's renowned coarse wit, Charles hosts Prime Minister Anthony Albanese should take the approach of the BBC quiz show, Have I Got News for You? Evidently, somebody from one politician was supposed to be on this show in 1993. I don't even understand this, and he's saying that he didn't show, so they put a bucket of lard up there to pretend like it was him, and that's supposed to be somehow hurt somebody's feelings. I don't. Ugh, that's crazy to me. It says from the first engagement to the last, he and Camilla will met with demands for the country to become a republic. Given the British very own anti-monarchist Graham Smith is down there right now, head of the campaign group Republic, and he of the Not My King fame was who staged miserable demonstrations of yellow plackets on the procession route to Charles's coronation. And then he go into all this old boring nonsense he's talking about and basically what it is. And then he had these gripes about the fact that they didn't do the projection of all the times that Charles had been um, to Australia on the Opera House went during Charles's coronation. But they should have knew right then when they didn't want to do that, when they canceled that Australia was making a turn right then and there. When they did not want to respect his coronation, big clue, big clue. But this time, when he came to Australia, when he just came the other day, they did do that. They projected it on the Opera House. But they pretty much told him that they are going the way of out the door. Australia is pretty much out the door. And then they want to, I'll tell you another thing in this article they did. They want to try to gaslight you into believing that the Republican movement down in Australia is not as strong as people perceive it to be, and what they're relying on for that kind of saying that, what they're relying on, the receipt that they're using is Murdoch. Murdoch did a poll, and it said news group did a poll of 1,000 people, and I think it is how many people in Australia? I think it's 24 million people, 24 million citizens in Australia, and he did a poll of 1,000 people. And basically it's saying I think it says only 33%. I can't find it in here, but they're saying that hold on, here it is right here. It says since the beginning the let me find it. I cannot find where it is. But anyway, they're saying that it's not the, oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. It said polls are generally split down the middle between people who want to see the monarchy as head of state or an elected Australian, despite the best effort of Rupert Murdoch's own newspaper. They tell on themselves. He has been the force behind trying to keep Charles as the head of state. Rupert Murdoch. And you know, he is well into his 90s. You know, y'all can read my mind what I'm saying. It's just amazing to me. It just is amazing to me that this man continues to do so much dirt. But let's go on. It says, despite the best effort of Rupert Murdoch's own newspapers recently, with which surveyed 1,000 people showing only 33% support republicanism. What can you do with a poll of 1,000 people? And we all know Rupert Murdoch owned newspapers. We all know that that poll is to be believed. Like I said yesterday in my last podcast, I would believe a YouGov poll and a Murdoch back poll, just like I believe in Santa Claus, as I believe in the Easter Bunny. I'm just saying. But yes, and that's how they want to gaslight people into believing that people still want Charles as the head. While I was over on the dark side, they interviewed some people, people on the street, and they thought like I said, they try to gaslight you. They had one person who said that they did not want Charles as the head of state, but the other ones were saying, we don't care. We welcome everybody. We want them to be welcome. And them saying that, we don't know what the question was. Because they only just said what the question was at the beginning. It is lots and lots of ways that they try to manipulate people into believing stuff, how they gaslight people. And they absolutely, that's all they do. And like I said, with Murdoch, they are thick as thieves with the monarchy. I'm just saying. All right, with that said, I want to shift gears a little bit and I want to put this up. We're going to talk a little about William. All of a sudden, William has started to claim Diana again. And I saw this and I found it very interesting. It was in the Express, so you can take it with a grain of salt, but it sounds like something that was planted by Kensington Palace. I'm just saying. It says Prince William is in his Diana era. Who said they was in a joy era? And all of a sudden now William is in his Diana era. As fans said the same thing about recent events. So what they saying that fans of William, whoever they might be, I don't know any. All I know is the ones who claim to be fans, but actually are just Meghan and Harry haters. I'm just saying, because they don't be acting like they fans. Because if you go to their pages or you go to their or their profile page on X, formerly known as Twitter or Instagram, it's just filled with hate for Harry and Meghan and nothing about William and Kate trying to lift them up. So it's hard for me to, I must say, I have never saw a William fan. I have never. And I am on these internet streets every day just about all day, every day, putting this podcast together. And I have just never saw one. All I have ever saw is Harry and Meghan haters that masquerade as William and Kate fans or supporters. I'm just saying. But it says this. It said busy Prince William has stepped out on various engagements this week, with many fans believing that he is just like his mother. Hmm. So he's just like his mother. Will his mother absolutely conspire with the news media to destroy her sister or her brother, like he has conspired with the news media, the British media, the royal rodents, the flying monkeys? Would she conspire with them to destroy one of her siblings? I don't think so. I really don't. So they have to miss me with that one. But let's go on. It says Prince William has had a very hectic schedule this week, attending a variety of engagements, leading royal fans to make comparisons to his late mother, Princess Diana, Princess of Wales. Isn't that something? I'm telling you, it is so funny to me. You can judge what kind of father Charles is by the things that Harry and William like to be written by them. You never see Harry or William talking about they're just like their father. They never say that. My father this. Like Megan McCain. That's another Megan and Harry hater. But Megan McCain, my father, my father, my father, my father, my father. They have a video of her saying my father with every breath she takes. But you never see Harry or William talk about that they are like their father. That should tell you a whole lot about Charles. And I bet that's something that sticks in his craw too. But you have to earn that. Diana earned that. Even though William was 15 and Harry was he was 12, just about 13 when she was taken away from them. And that's the only way I'll ever phrase that. When she was taken away from them. So, but she earned that. She earned it with her deeds, her love for people, and just her presence, the way she was as a human being. And William and Harry loved to claim Diana. Harry said that his goal in life is one thing, and that is to make his mother proud. Don't have nothing to say about Charles. I'm just saying. But it says this. Prince William I read that. It says, commenting on William's dedication to the life and service and creating a strong bond with today's youth. Fans have been quick to award praise to Diana's eldest son. Well, we know who her eldest son is. It said Prince William has had a very, oh, wait a minute. Okay. Prince William has had a very hectic schedule this week attending I read that. Okay. On October 17th, Prince William paid a visit to the Duchy College Stoke Cleveland in Calton in Cornwall, England, to learn more about agriculture, school opportunities for young people in rural areas. A video montage of the day was posted to social media. I wonder where he got that idea from. I wonder. Could it be his brother being in New York and posted a picture, a montage of him and all the things he did during the time he was up there and all the meetings and all his activities? One thing about William and Kate, you can always depend on them to copy. But I digress. It says, a video montage of the day was posted on social media where Prince William even had a chance to take part in a mock crime scene investigation, which is one part of the college military and protective service course. Replying to the video user, and they put the name of the person, so evidently this is a person who commented in the comments. William is in his Diana era a true king. Well, they didn't want Diana to be a true queen. It is ridiculous to me. Another fan wrote, King of Hearts. We all know that they made when Harry was came to Well Child. Y'all remember that? And he was doing, it was just so beautiful. And of course, Harry's very good at what he does because he actually does it with his heart. He leads with his heart. And y'all remember when the Daily Fail made this, wrote this story, this headline story, and said that Harry was the Prince of Hearts, and it lasted 2 hours, and they took that down. That's all it is. And then they changed it to some other title it was. And now all of a sudden he is the King of Hearts. Okay, another fan wrote, he's the King of Hearts, the people's prince. We love you, William, in a reference to Diana being the queen of people's hearts. The reference in her famous interview with journalist Martin Bashir. The same one that William said that he never wanted to be seen again and called his mom paranoid and crazy. I'm just saying. During the visit, William also learned about other courses the college offer, including degrees in equine science, agriculture, horticulture, business, health, and construction. And went on and said one fan stated, "Well done, Prince William. He really cares about people." Doesn't these comments seem a little contrived to y'all? Made up, planted. And that's the way I feel about it. I believe this whole story was planted. It was all contrived and conceived and made up in Kensington Palace and planted in the Daily Express, because people don't talk like this. They don't. And they definitely don't talk like that about William. So stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Also, I have another William and Kate story. This is another story going around saying William revealed that he and Kate Middleton share their bed with an unexpected family member. Here's who: the dog. William said that their dog sleep with them. And we all know that we have speculated that if the dog's sleeping with them, it's two of them, because one is sleeping at William's apartment and then one is sleeping over there at LA Cottage. But we all learned from Jane Middleton's book that Kate is over there at Buckleberry all the time, as if she stays over there, because he said in his book he brought Princess Charlotte and Princess Louis and Prince Louis and Prince George sees his child all the time, because he takes it up. They go over to his mom's house and Kate and the kids are there. I'm just saying. So it said one of Prince William and Kate Middleton's family member has a special place in their hearts and their beds. While meeting with fans, dog while meeting a fan's dog during a visit at the Duchy College. I guess this is the same place in Cornwall, England on Thursday, October the 7th. William, 42, revealed that his Cocker Spaniel, Orla, often sleeps with him and his wife, also 42, in their bed. And you know what? I would believe this, but we all know William is a liar. I will always say how slick of a liar William will. Well, when I came to understand how a slick liar William was, that he had this slick kind of way of lying, was when just before Harry got married, Harry was engaged. They had made the announcement, and as William, he was doing an engagement, and people was asking him about Harry's engagement. And of course, you could see he was irritated with it because everybody was so thrilled, so happy that Harry was getting married. He was happy, and they liked his fiance, even though they were doing everything they could to tear her down behind the scenes. But at the time, we did not know that. And someone asked him, how did he feel about the engagement? He lied. Now we know he was really lying about everything, because I thought he was just lying about the food part of it, but he was lying about everything. He said when that person asked him if he was happy about Harry's engagement, he said, "We are thrilled." And he said he is especially thrilled. And if I can find that piece of film, that video, I am going to bring it to the podcast. But it was right before Harry and Meghan, their wedding, and well, right after their announcement. And I think it was around, because they made the announcement in November, so it was around last of this November or December of 2017. And he said, "We are thrilled." And he said, "I am especially thrilled because now he can stay out of my fridge eating up all my food." That's what he said. He said he was a scrounger. He would be him scrounging and eating up all his food. And we found out in Spare that was nothing but a bald-faced lie all the way around. Number one, and it's even more information has come out, even from, in addition to Spare, because we found out from Jabo's book that he didn't even want Meghan wearing Diana's jewelry. He didn't want Meghan to have anything. And you know how old Angela Kelly was about the tiara. But he said with a straight face that he was thrilled about Harry getting married, and he was so glad that he would not be scrounging and eating up all his food. And we know he never invited Harry over to eat up any food. And Harry and him weren't even tight like that. They weren't even close like that for Harry to eat his food. And he told that lie, that slick lie like that. Just remember that. So it's hard for me to believe anything. I don't believe they live together. I'm just saying. And I'm gonna put this up, and this is gonna be the last thing. Well, wait a minute. Oh, I got two more things. Two more things I got to do. I'm gonna put this up. And this is Squatty's we read between the lines. And because this came out, it says, when did they start briefing that Kate's on the eczema list, guest list for Sandham? I never can say Sandrington. Him. I can never say that word. This means she's not on the list. She's keen to join her children, though. But doesn't she live with them? This is so funny. Cammy isn't playing around. See what it says? It said Princess Kate under no pressure from royal family as key date looms. A source close to Express Kate on the guest list for the this year's Christmas gathering. She is keen to join her children and family to celebrate the holidays, but there is no pressure for her to attend. And squatters are speculating that it might be a separation there, because ain't never this nothing like this has ever came out, ever. We always expect her to be walking to church with everybody else, but all of a sudden they saying that she's keen to come to be with her children, but there's no pressure on her to come. I wonder how that's gonna come out. Just something I'm throwing out there. And this right here made me mad when I saw it. Squatters are digging this up. It says, instead, we got this, a broken heart, how they treated her. Hard to imagine what she went through behind closed doors. Snakes, all of them. Look at how he is looking at Megan, how they treated her. And you know how Kate did. This is at that polo game. You remember when they forced her to bring that baby out because the news media just was clamoring to see, or something about Archie. I'm telling you, they were like rabid dogs. They wanted to see Archie. They wanted to see Archie. They wanted access to Archie. And Kate had all her family there. She was laying on she had a little picnic, blanket out and stuff like that. Megan's just stood by the tree, and look at him looking at her. They isolated her. They tried to destroy her by isolating her, lying on her. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine what Megan was going through? Can you imagine? Mm, mm. And she took it like a champ. Because me, I swear, I, I would have been on the news. If he stood up there and looked at me like that, I would have been on the news the next day. It's so good that Harry got the right one. When he said the conveyor belt broke and he knew she was right for him, he was absolutely right. Because if he had got the wrong one, it was one lady said if he had got somebody from New York, it would have been a whole different ball game. I'm just saying, they would have turned it out. All right, y'all. I'm gonna put this picture of Kate. You know, I got to put this picture of Kate up here, and we all know Kate feels like Megan ruined her life by having a work ethic. I just love this picture. Okay, I love it. I love it. I see into her soul, and it's dark. Also, y'all, you know what this means too. If you mess with Megan and Harry, us squatters will eat your face off, and we'll smile while we doing it. All right, y'all. Bye.